In 1483, a Portuguese caravel pokes its nose into the Congo River. The Kingdom of Kongo is about to get a very persistent pen pal. First, let's set the stage. Here's the world our story unfolds in around 1491, with Mbanza Kongo right at the heart of it. Diogo steps ashore, expecting spears. Instead, he gets a guided tour and a trade agreement, because Kongo's king knows a good business opportunity when he sees one. King Nzinga Nkuwu greets the stranger with royal dignity and a shrewd eye. These Portuguese might be useful allies against his rivals, or at least they bring shiny things. Nzinga Nkuwu decides to convert to Christianity, hoping to cement an alliance with Portugal. As people watch, half amused, half hopeful. Will this new god bring trade, or just more paperwork? In 1491, King João I of Congo gets baptized in a lavish ceremony. The Portuguese are thrilled. The Congolese are just trying to figure out the dress code. In 1485, Congo's finest envoys sail into Lisbon, bearing gifts and a message. We like your god, your guns, and your shiny things. Portugal's king is intrigued. King João II is so impressed he sends back missionaries, stonemasons, and a whole lot of helpful advice. Congo's court is suddenly a construction site. The alliance is sealed with a treaty, a handshake, and a shared dream of trade. Little do they know, this friendship will get complicated, like a group project where one partner does all the work. May 3rd, 1491. Mbanza Kongo holds its breath as the king prepares to get wet. Not for a bath, for eternity. Splash! King Nzinga Nkuwu becomes João I, the first Christian king of Congo. His son, Afonso, gets the same holy shower, looking like a startled cat. The king emerges from the font with a new name, a new faith, and a brand new alliance. The Portuguese missionaries beam like they just unlocked a rare achievement. When João I dies in 1509, his son Afonso Nzinga steps over a pile of rivals and grabs the throne. He's got a Bible in one hand and a plan in the other. Afonso's coronation is a spectacle. He's crowned with a cross in his hand and a Bible on his lap, while Portuguese advisors hover like proud stage parents. From day one, Afonso makes it clear, Christianity is the new house style. He builds churches, bans old customs, and basically turns Congo into a very enthusiastic Bible study group. Afonso I looks at his capital and thinks, this place needs a rebrand. So he slaps a new name on it, Sao Salvador, Holy Savior, because nothing says new era like a divine glow-up. Workers haul stone and sweat under the African sun, while Portuguese masons shout instructions in a language nobody understands. It's the world's first construction site with a language barrier. And here's Mbanza Kongo up close, where our story really plays out. When the church finally rises, Afonso declares at the heart of his kingdom. The Portuguese are thrilled until they realize Afonso expects them to follow his rules, not the other way around. By the 1510s, Portuguese merchants decide Congo's real treasure isn't gold, it's people. Coffles of chained captives start snaking toward the coast. Now the big move, the road from Pinda to Mbanza Kongo. Afonso I watches his kingdom's future being marched away and fires off letters to Lisbon. Stop taking my people. The Portuguese nod, then keep right on loading ships. The slave trade tears villages apart. Families are split, fields lie empty, and even Afonso's own nobles start selling their rivals. It's a social earthquake with Portuguese pickaxes. Afonso I, King of Kongo, sits in his new stone palace, but he's not relaxing. He's dictating a letter to Portugal, and his finger is wagging like a disappointed schoolteacher. The letter is a polite, please send teachers and stonemasons, but the subtext screams, stop stealing my people. Afonso's quill practically punches through the paper. He seals the letter with a royal stamp, but the real stamp is on his heart. Afonso knows these words might as well be screams into the Atlantic wind. In 1518, Afonso's son Henrique kneels before the Pope in Rome, about to become the first Congolese bishop. His father back home is absolutely bursting with pride. The Pope places the mitre on Henrique's head, and the crowd erupts in applause. A Congolese prince is now a prince of the church. Take that, skeptics! Henrique returns to Congo as a bishop, but he's not just a holy man. He's a symbol that Congo is now a full member of Christendom. Afonso can't stop bragging. Afonso I dies in 1542, and Congo's nobles immediately start squabbling over the throne like kids over the last piece of cake. The Portuguese watch from the corner, smirking and taking notes. Portuguese advisors become the real power behind the throne, whispering in one ear and filling their own pockets with the other. The king may wear the crown, but Lisbon pulls the strings. In 1568, the Jaga arrive like a hangover Congo never asked for, with machetes and a serious attitude problem. The Jaga torch the capital, and Álvaro I, king of Kongo, does the only logical thing. He runs like his royal robes are on fire. Desperate, Álvaro sends a message to Portugal. Help. Send soldiers, or your favorite trading partner becomes a barbecue. The Jaga are having a lovely day pillaging, when suddenly, surprise, Portuguese muskets and Congolese spears crash the party. Álvaro I, back on his throne, tries to look majestic, but the Portuguese helpers now have the real power, and they know it. The Portuguese army marches into Congo, all muskets and swagger, expecting an easy win. But Duke Daniel da Silva has other plans. The Congolese and Soyo soldiers, trained in Portuguese tactics, hit the invaders like a surprise quiz. The Portuguese are not prepared. The Portuguese retreat in disarray, leaving their pride and a few cannons behind. Congo celebrates a rare victory, but the war is far from over. In 1641, the Dutch show up in Luanda like the cool new kids in school, and King Garcia II of Congo sees his chance to finally ditch the Portuguese. The Dutch and Congolese shake hands, sealing a friendship that's basically a giant screw you to Portugal. The Portuguese in Angola start sweating. Garcia II rubs his hands together like a villain with a new plan. With Dutch help, the Portuguese are about to get a very rude exit from Angola. The Congolese and Dutch join forces at Kombi, a sight so rare it makes the Portuguese do a double take. Their muskets are ready, their swords are sharp, and their battle plan is, well, it's a plan. The Portuguese charge, all confidence and clinking armor. But the Congolese and Dutch hold their ground, and soon the Portuguese are learning a lesson in humility and in running away. The Portuguese retreat in disarray, leaving behind their cannons and their dignity. Garcia II does a victory dance that will be talked about for centuries, mostly because it's terrible. In 1648, a Portuguese fleet sails into Luanda Bay, fresh from Brazil and ready to reclaim their colonial prize. The Dutch, suddenly less cool, scramble to leave. The Dutch ships sail off, looking over their shoulders like kids caught raiding the cookie jar. Luanda is Portuguese again, and Congo's alliance just lost its sugar daddy. Now, dear viewer, watch as the Portuguese get their groove back, while King Garcia II of Congo realizes his grand plan just hit a brick wall. Ouch! By 1650, Portuguese merchants are like, Congo? Never heard of her, as they sail past to trade with regional warlords, leaving Congo's king to fume in his throne room. Congo's capital, Kongo, once a bustling hub, now sees more tumbleweeds than traders. The king's treasury is so empty, even the spiders are packing up. Even the regional warlords start giving Congo the cold shoulder, preferring Portuguese trinkets over the king's promises. It's like being ghosted by your own vassals. King Garcia II shuffles off this mortal coil in 1661, and Congo's nobles immediately start eyeing the throne like hungry vultures at a barbecue. Two rival factions square off, each backed by a Portuguese advisor who's whispering sweet nothings about trade deals and military support. The factions clash, and Congo's own soldiers fight each other in the streets of Mbanza, Congo. Portuguese advisors watch from a safe distance, taking notes. The year is 1665. King Antonio I of Congo, fresh off a pep talk with his generals, marches to Mbwila to teach the Portuguese a lesson in geography. The Portuguese, led by a smug governor, spot the Congolese army and think, "Oh, cute, they brought their king. This'll be easy." The battle erupts. Congolese archers and Portuguese muskets fill the air with noise, but the Portuguese have cannons, and cannons don't care about bravery. King Antonio, leading from the front like a boss, gets knocked off his horse by a cannonball. It's not a good look for a king. The Congolese army, seeing their king go down, collectively goes, "Nope," and scatters like startled pigeons. The battle is lost. The capital, Sao Salvador, is now a ghost town. Weeds grow through the throne room, and the only court in session is a tribunal of termites. With no king to rally them, Congo's provinces go full every man for himself. Local chiefs raise their own flags, and their own armies, and their own taxes. The once mighty kingdom shrinks to a memory, a cautionary tale told by merchants over watered-down palm wine. Soyo's Duke Daniel da Silva watches the chaos from his fortress and thinks, "You know what? We're fine here. Thanks for playing, Congo." With Congo's king dead and the kingdom a mess, Soyo's da Silva family decides to go full independent business owner and starts trading slaves directly with European ships. Soyo's fortress now flies its own flag, a big "we're not with them" symbol. Congo's remaining nobles look at it and sigh. We used to be a country. Pedro IV looks at the weed-choked throne room and sighs. Time to bring Congo back, one grumpy chief at a time. Pedro IV calls a grand meeting in the rebuilt capital. The chiefs show up, but each one brings a personal grudge and a suspicious glare. The chiefs argue about who gets which province, who owes what tribute, and who stole whose goat in 1698. Pedro IV facepalms. By 1800, Congo was a shadow of its former self, but its Christian heritage and resistance to colonialism left a lasting legacy in Central Africa. The old kingdom may be gone, but its spirit lives on in the people's faith and the memory of kings who fought for their land. And so, the story of Congo reminds us that even when empires fall, their ideas can outlast stone and steel.